of the entire CRM. So basically, it's just going to be a full overview of the entire CRM and the amazing benefits of what the CRM can do for you. And we're going to show little bits and pieces that with the few years of work that we've kind of gone over that we feel are the best areas that you should focus on. So starting out, let's go into the web and IDX settings. So clicking in here, this is your website. So first and foremost, kvCore is just such an amazing CRM. And the fact that you're able to have your website tied in with your CRM means that the data tracking capabilities are just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You can track all the different movements that people make on your website, not only just with kvCore's internal stuff, but also when you add in your Facebook pixel, you're able to track every single click. But for example, if somebody's clicking, let's pull up your website. So top right hand corner, we have the drop down, and I can actually open up your website right here. But let's come in here, and so for example, if somebody clicks on getting pre-approved, or if they want to click to view a home, and they can now chat directly with you. They can ask you a question. They can request showings. So, I mean, there's just a ton of amazing features that the end user has the ability to do because of the way that kvCore set this up. And for those of you who don't know, if you try to pay for kvCore just by itself without having help from your brokerage, this is a $400 a month. It may be more, but I think it's like $399 just paying for kvCore by itself without a brokerage's help. So it's quite the CRM, and you have your IDX integration, you have all these amazing tools. So that is your website, and we'll go back now to the web and IDX settings, and we'll keep kind of talking about the website itself. So first off, here in the website manager, so we can click on edit settings here, and you're going to see two different options for your templates. So you can switch from the hero to the foundation, and you can go through and check out what those two different options look like. Also, I would suggest watching this small little training video. It's going to show you, again, just some of the basics about going through kind of what I'm doing. But when you go back to do it, you could also just watch that video and it'll explain a little bit more. But we have our template homepage widgets and the widget layout options. So I really like that they have this option because it makes it very simplistic for you as the realtor to change something, change the entire layout of your website just by simply clicking a different drop down. And so I'm not gonna change Michael's because it would actually change the full layout of your website, and I don't really want to do that right this second. But so essentially, I click on I want luxury instead. It's going to then change out all of these different widgets that populate. It's going to change the layout. It's going to change the colors. And it just gives some really cool design changes. So very simple to do. Another side of that is that if you actually have a website designer, they do have some pretty easy ways for you to pay a website designer a few $100, and they can go in and really customize the way that this is set up. I'm pretty positive that this is all WordPress based. And so for a normal website designer, it should be pretty simplistic. And later on, I'll go into the marketplace edits as well. So moving down, sorry, I don't know what this is. Excuse me. So showing down here, we have our template theme colors. So you can actually choose what colors that you want your entire layout to be. So for example, we have one of our clients that has been with us for a long time, and she actually is known as the pink-haired agent, right? So I think she would probably love choosing one of those colors in there. Now, scrolling below that, we have our background images, and kvCore automatically has just a ton of different images that you can select and choose from. And what this is going to do is you can check as many of these as you want. And you'll notice that every time, if you have multiples, every time you refresh the page, it is going to automatically refresh and show a different image each time that the end user goes to your website. So just make sure that when you do upload your own personalized photo or background image, that it is the correct pixel ratio. These are known as landscape photos, so they're very long and short, but that's what works for the websites. Now, you can see a ton of different types of, like this is out in the country. You've got a lot of forestry, and this is the log cabin. So people in Montana might really enjoy having this photo. The mountain sunsets, Colorado, maybe. So you can go through here. Here's some suburbs. Here's different areas. So the point is that you can go through and choose whatever area reflects you as an agent. And it's very simplistic to do. Now moving forward, we have uploading your own image. So this is where you would actually upload those custom background images. And here is your logo. So I would suggest everyone has their own logo. And if you don't have one, go to Fiverr, pay 10, 20 bucks to have your own logo created. It's very easy to get done. And it's a way that you can totally have your brand and build your brand. So I'm sure Michael would agree with that as well. Now, down in here, here is a setting that a lot of people don't know about / overlook. And this is the mandate phone setting. So this is very important because this is going to make it so that it forces people to submit their phone number when they come onto your website. Now, I know that in some areas that can really deter people, potential leads, for example. And so that is why kvCore has the option to prompt the registration, but do not require visitors to register. And you can make it so that the registration pop-ups happen after a certain number of times or property views. So you can go all the way up to 10 property views. That means people can go on your site, look at 10 different homes, and then after that 10th home, they're finally getting the pop-up asking for them to submit their phone number. So however you feel that you want to do that is a good idea. I would suggest at least letting them look at maybe 1 to 2 before you populate that registration, because if it's just an auto force, sometimes people do get frustrated. But it's also different in every area. We've tested this for clients, and some areas it works very well if you just do that forced registration and you're getting real contact information, and other areas it doesn't. So Now, right here is our website title. And this is, again, very simple for you to go in and actually change the header and what you do, and adding in extra settings. So here's another section where you can add in recruit text, and in here is the custom header. So this is very important when it comes to running your own Facebook ads or Google as well. And if it's okay, Michael, I'd actually like to jump into your business manager and show them real quick how simple it is to do this part. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll have to jump into your business settings on Facebook.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
So I'll need you to log in
Here,
on that.
It's easier for me to just do it through Facebook. Let me,
Okay.
my system. Yeah, give me a second.
Okay, yeah, no worries. I know that we've also shown this in different videos as well, but essentially we are just taking that pixel code. In the business manager, there's the actual pixel, and you're copying that code and you're pasting it into the custom header in there. So
looks like he's almost got you there.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
I cleaned the,
Yeah. Hey, cleaning is good.
Well, to kind of touch base a little bit more on a couple of the things that you've already covered. So mandating the phone number, I know there's a couple of different philosophies around that. I actually highly recommend it. One of the main reasons is if somebody's willing to give you their phone number for that communication to start, that's a really good indicator that that is an individual that is very interested in either selling their home or purchasing a new property. So I really like having that mandate phone number setting be put in place on the back end of kvCore. And then another thing is when you're seeing that forced registration and they have 3 property views prior to that forced registration, that is actually because that is the best performing number. So kvCore works with over 100,000 agents around the nation, and they've compiled just a massive amount of data from folks that are searching these sites and inputting their information. So when what kvCore does right out of the gate is they set you up with those settings that provide you with the highest level of results for the fill rate. Now, the reason the phone isn't mandatory and mandated right out of the gate, because not everybody is going to provide it. But I am a firm believer that if they do provide that phone number, it is going to be a much higher quality contact because they want to have that conversation. They're giving you permission to call or text them. So it's just my 2 cents on that matter.
Absolutely. Thanks, Fred. So now that we're in the business manager, underneath business settings, we have data sources. And under data sources, there's pixels. And in this, we then want to jump into Events Manager. And under Events Manager, we can see that we've already been tracking all of this data. So that's the amount of people that have been clicking and browsing your website. Now, in order to add the pixel code into your kvCore site, we want to do this from a new website. And we are going to install the code manually. So we're just going to very easily copy the code and paste this code into the custom header of your kvCore site. We're going to click Save, jump back over to the Events Manager. We want to make sure we turn on the automatic advanced matching. So this is very important for Facebook so that you can track all of this personal data. And we're going to click Continue, Open Event Setup Tool. And we are going to grab your website URL, jump back in here and paste it in. And we're going to open up the website, and hopefully this will be simple and it'll populate the tool that we need. Come on, come on. There we go.
Sometimes it takes a moment for it to load in once you've installed the pixel code. So that's why hopefully it's going to be there. Takes a couple clicks sometimes.
I can't tell you how many times I've done this, and the pixel setup is one of the most annoying parts with the entire business manager setup. And that's because everybody has their own different computer. It could be a MacBook, it could be Windows, and you could be using Chrome or Internet Explorer or whatever you're using, but different things have different pop-up blockers, etc. So it can get frustrating, but with the Pixel, I always say the 8th time's the charm because that's usually how it is. So what we're doing now here, I jumped through that, but we're gonna track this new button. So now I can track anybody who clicks on the search bar. And we're going to tie the correlating buttons. So search is search. And now I can scroll down and we're going to track view content. So view details is going to be view content. And we're going to confirm that. We're going to track another new button. Similar properties is going to be customize product.
And this is the formula that we use to set up that pixel tool so that we can make sure that we have all of our follow-up in place. If you want to set similar properties to a different tracking parameter, by all means, be our guest. This is just the exact setup that we use for our clients so that we know every single step of the way how we can jump into any one of our clients and we know what we're tracking with each one of these buttons. So it's just our standard operating procedure.
Yep. Save, I did add to cart. And so now that we're done with these 4 on the main page, now we can actually click view details to click into one of these listings. And this is where the forced registration can be a little tricky because Mike's is set to show to populate after 3 home views. So in order to get this last part to pop up, we might have to click into a few different homes. Here we go.
There we go.
All right, so this is that pop-up with the forced registration. So as you can see here, it makes them put in an email address that must be valid. So it has to actually be a real @gmail.com or something along those lines. And we want to track each individual one of these, and these are going to be leads.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So we're connecting Facebook tracking pixel to the website, right?
Correct.
So maybe you could explain why.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is really important for if you're wanting to run any type of ad for yourself, for your business.
So, let me just say that. So I think what we're saying is, have any of you guys ever gone to a website and looked at the website, and then the next time you're in Facebook, you see ads from the website, right? The same website you were just on. Right. Yep. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yep.
So that if people go to our website, we will know that and can advertise to them on Facebook.
Yeah, and so I always like to explain it like you're searching on Amazon to go buy a new pair of socks, right? And the next day you get online and all you see are socks, ads for new socks. And you look at that and go, oh, that's actually a nice pair. And the next thing you know, 10 minutes later, you're down another rabbit hole, right? So that's exactly what we can do, except for the housing industry. And even if you're not wanting to run lead generation ads for yourself, I would, in the minimum, suggest running some retargeting campaigns. That is going to, the whole goal of the retargeting campaigns are just to continue to drive people to your website so that the people who are the more interested parties, you are making sure that they're continuing to see you and your face and driving back to your website and staying on your site. So
yeah, I just wanted everyone to understand why we're doing
definitely, definitely. Yeah, this makes it so we can track all the data, every single click that these people are making. And so when somebody clicks that they submitted their information, you're not only getting this information automatically in your kvCore, but now you're also tracking that information in your Facebook pixel. So it's a really great way to do this. And we are done here. Those are the main setups that we wanted. And now we just click finish setup and we are done. So now the Facebook pixel is done and we can continue to move forward. So these are the main things that I would say you could focus on in here. There are some, I'll show you a different section, but here's another area where you can add in your testimonials for whether that's your Zillow reviews. So if you have all your Zillow reviews, you can add in your email that you use with Zillow there, and it'll automatically show that. But let's move forward now. On to the next section.
Click on Web and IDX again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Thank you. Okay, so now we're moving on to site content. So here is the section where it's easiest to go in and connect your Zillow reviews. And you can also add any other testimonials as well. So you can just type in your own testimonials right there, the name of the person. I would highly suggest adding in any of your testimonials that you have.
With that being said, I would say search your Google My Business page, Facebook, search Realtor.com, Zillow.com, Homes.com, Yelp, any location that you have a review or somebody that has gone in and reviewed you, go ahead and pull those in. Now, of course, if you have some negative or bad reviews, cherry pick, don't put those ones on there. You want to make sure that you're sharing yourself in the right light. But if you have, say, 100 5-star reviews and one bad one, that's not a bad thing because people can see that you are actually a real person. And anytime you go to a website like Amazon, if I only see 5 stars and I don't see anything that's negative, I might think that that product is actually a scam or that there's just something that they're hiding on there. So if you've got a ton of great reviews and one bad one, don't be afraid to post that bad one and put it on there because it shouldn't hurt you in any way, shape, or form. It's just part of doing business. You're going to get a bad one here and there.
Definitely. So the next sections are going to be your service areas and SEO. So in here, you can add in all of the different areas that you service. And so go in there, add in those areas.
And one thing I would do here as well, especially under the keywords, is I would make sure that you are adding in all of the zip codes for those locations, right? So some of these major real estate sites, Realtor, Zillow.com, they're kind of subliminally training everyone to start searching for properties based on zip codes. So when you look at keyword searches, when somebody's searching on Google, one of the primary things that you'll find is that folks will be searching in a particular zip code for homes for sale because that zip code falls within the school district they want to be in or something along those lines. So what I would recommend is going in and adding a keyword phrase, several for every single location that you have, and maybe add in some of the local the local eateries or things along those lines that people will frequent, or even tourist attractions, right? So that way, when somebody's searching for homes in a particular area or homes near a particular thing, it helps you populate a little bit better on Google and brings you up those search rankings.
So you're saying that I could add something that's not zip code, not city, not MLS area.
Exactly. So
Like,
Alameda Valley, you could add in zip codes. You just
right.
add in all of the zip codes for the valley, comma, space, comma, space, comma, space, right? After entering each zip code.
Under
And then if there's
keywords.
any specific landmarks, you can add those in as well.
So by the zip codes, would you be doing that under keywords or would you be doing that as areas? Because we also could go to areas and add every zip code.
So I would do those under the keywords, and then I would also actually add the zip codes into the areas as well.
Is there a limit on how many? San Jose has a lot of zip codes.
There really isn't a limit on how many you can do, as long as it all matches your MLS profile, because each website is going to be based off of your local MLS. So it's not going to be able to show any of the details from outside of your market, but it'll show everything that's inside of your marketplace.
Would you recommend that somebody spend the time to add all of the areas that are actually served by their MLS?
I would make sure that you add all the areas that you are willing to travel to and sell homes in, because if you're gonna go through and add everything in your MLS, there's certain neighborhoods that you may not want to work, just because it could be too far away from you. Right now, we can't do any kind of discrimination or anything along those lines, but we can hone in on where we are specific, where we specifically want to work and where our specialties lie. So,
Good advice.
So the next section here is going to be the blog. So Michael, it looks like you have some blogs that you've added in here as well. That's awesome. And you can come in here and create your own posts. I would highly suggest doing this. It's more content that you're putting on your website. It's more stuff for people to read when they go on there. It's just always a good idea. Make them see you as the knowledgeable realtor.
and could you show us how to embed excuse me, I'm sorry. Could you show us also how to embed like a YouTube video into that blog post?
Yeah, totally. So inside of here, let's pull up YouTube.
So let's just use this as an example. Let's just pretend like this is the 7 top neighborhoods.
Why don't you, if you search for something called Upthink Real Estate.
Upthink, okay.
Because, I hear this is a really good channel.
I heard it was too, actually.
Yeah, this guy actually really knows what he's talking to. I've been following him for a while. I'd love to get a meeting with him though.
Yeah, and you have to work on that.
Yeah.
Put me in your database.
All right, so once you have the YouTube video, you then click share, and you're going to see the embedded code right here. So you can copy this right here. So that's automatically going to copy that. And you can now jump in here and you can see this source code. That is the button that we want. And we're going to pop that iframe into there and click save. And voila, we have now added that in. And this is a great way that you can add a blog post that actually shows your own videos. Pretty amazing. And there's also another section in the web and Idx settings that you can add in your own YouTube videos as well. So definitely look at doing that. Video content is king, and people love watching stuff.
Also, a couple of additional added benefits to this as well. So when someone is searching for you, blog posts are a great way to help increase your search engine optimization and the keywords when someone is searching for a particular piece of information. So one thing to keep in mind is that any of the search engine like the SEO that you have built into your YouTube video, any of your keywords that are there, the content that's in the video, your description, the title, all of those things, when you embed this video onto your website, it all plays a role in helping bring your site to the top of that search list on Google, Bing, Yahoo. If anybody uses Ask Jeeves, I don't even know if it's still around. It's going to help drive that to the top of that traffic so that you can be one of the first people to be clicked on. So any little addition that you can do, like adding in more videos or making sure that you are posting extremely relevant content to your local marketplaces in your blogs. If there's a new restaurant that's coming into town, new store that's opening up, stay on top of it, be in front of it, and it's going to help drive more traffic to your site.
Absolutely. So great little feature there. Upload those videos if you got them, people. Now, next section is going to be the embeds. So in here, we have our website QR code. So if, like the last video that I was on with Michael here, one of our favorite ads to run is the traffic ad to the home valuation landing page. And once we have those people's home addresses, we can then send out direct mailers. So on that direct mailer, you can add your website QR code. It's an amazing little feature. And here's another one for your listing QR code. So once you have an active listing on the MLS, you can search that address here, and it's going to then populate and create a QR code that will drive people to that specific listing. So another very cool thing you can do with Mailbox Power, and I would suggest looking into sending direct mailers out. So we also have our property search widget that you can embed. We have, and so here's what this looks like. It's just another property search, but it's tied to the IDX and your MLS.
So by embedding this, you're talking about taking these widgets and embedding them on another web page.
Yeah, so you can embed them onto another web page. You can embed them into your web page as well if you want. But yeah.
But the web page that comes with it out of the box has those search widgets, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You can change it though if you want to have this one instead of the other one, you can do that.
All right.
Same with the seller valuation widget. Here's the valuation widget right here. So if you've created your own ClickFunnels or landing page and you want to tie that in right there, there's a home valuation that the information should transition automatically that contact into your kvCore. So pretty cool features. Last section is going to be your widget library. So again, this is the amazing simplicity of kvCore. They have made it so that all you have to do is click add on these widgets, and the more you click to add, the more that it will pull these widgets in right here. So
go ahead and click on like the recruit default widget. You see that over on the right? Those are the two that I've added.
okay.
I'm sorry. So why don't you just add a widget?
Let's do the just listed.
How about open house? Let's do that one. That sounds like fun. Both of those are
Yeah,
good.
the world is opening up. Let's go. Open houses.
Absolutely.
All right. So, and then let's see, what does that do? Yeah. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's supposed to be on the front page rather than in an other.
Correct.
Find valuable resources.
Here we go.
There we go. Okay.
Yep. So it'll add that in. Should we add in the, okay, that was the open house. Let's do the just listed.
Yeah, those are two. And eventually price reductions. Is that a widget we can add?
Let's look. I don't believe so. Not with these simple widgets.
All right. All right.
But I see a lot of people that have the default property type widget. If you have a team kvCore account, this would be a really awesome page to have. It shows all the team members and their profiles and about me sections. So there we go. Now we have the open houses and just listed homes. Very simple and easy to do. So that's a great feature. So that is the main overview for the web and IDX settings.
One question, under Website Manager, I think, or Site Contents, there's Add Custom Pages.
Yes.
So I mean, I've added a couple, but which are just links to different things. So if somebody had a page like new homes or something like that, you could add them.
Yes, so you can create your own landing pages and things like that, and then you simply add in the link to that here, and you can create your own new page.
Right.
So also another awesome feature. Sorry, I skipped over that one.
Yeah, that's why I'm paying, keeping you,
Thank you. Keeping me on track here. All right. So next, we wanted to move into the marketing section. So this is where you are able to actually create the smart campaigns, and we have our saved search alerts. These are going to be the two main ones that you should focus on. And I'll get into the core voicemail drop and other things once I show you the marketplace. So with the smart campaigns, I would suggest if you have a brand new account, you're going to come in here and you're going to click on the kvCore library. And once you're in the kvCore library, we are going to go through and look at all of these different campaigns. I believe it's 24, is it 24 campaigns that, yeah, 24 campaigns that kvCore has. So you can go through these and you can add as many of these into your library that you want. And there are some that are longer campaigns, like this campaign right here is I want to say up to a few hundred days. It's spread out and it's 43 different, calling, email, texts, and notifications. So this default new lead buyer and default new lead seller are both great ones to add to your library. And after, let's just add one of these in, and I can then show you. So I've added in the buyer campaign, and I'm going to switch back to campaigns. So let's jump into default new lead buyer. And in here, we can preview these messages. And let's say that I like that, but I want to actually personalize it to make it sound more like me. That doesn't sound exactly like me. So now I'm going to go back to the campaigns, and you want to go to templates, and you're going to create your own new template. So let's add the text template, and let's call this edit 1. Thanks for requesting property info on our site. Just curious, are you actively searching for a property or just browsing now? Please feel free to call me at any time if you would like to know more or have any questions. So I can now click to add this template. And I'm going to jump back into my campaigns and click on the default new lead. And so this was the third one right here. So now I'm going to click edit. And I want to remove this template and select mine. So there we go. And you can even view this template. So if, for instance, you've maybe forgot what you named it and you thought it was this one, but you're not quite sure and you don't want to have to click another 7 times, you just click view this template. You can make sure that's the one that you wrote. You can review it, make sure there's no edits or any typos. Now in here, you can change the time units to make it minutes, hours, days, and you can change the value. So however many minutes or hours or days you want that message to go out at. So I actually want that to go out at 5 minutes instead of 7, because there's a real statistic that you have a 5-minute window to actually reach somebody or you lose that chance to work with them up to 400%. And that is a Zillow statistic based off of the thousands of people, of leads that they,
thousands and millions,
yeah,
280.
thousands and thousands, probably hundreds of thousands.
The more time people spend on their cell phones, the more information we have at the tip of our fingers, the quicker we want the information when we ask for it. So I want you guys to be cognizant and keep that in mind when you have a lead that comes in. Speed to lead is the most important aspect of conversion. And so if you are following up with them immediately, it's going to give you the best opportunity.
Yep. So add those campaigns into your library, go through, preview the messages that are going out, make sure that it works for you and that it sounds like you. Make sure it's got your information in here. It's got your office name, your phone number, your email. This one's great. It has your website. So go through, make sure it's all personalized. Make sure that you've got a campaign that lasts a year or two. Make sure that you have that long-term campaign. Make sure that you have the short campaign. We call ours the 20 days of pain. And then there's the long-term campaign for the people who message back and say, hey, yeah, I am looking, but my timeline is more like a year out. So then our clients can go in, they can add people to the long-term campaign that has touches spread out every 2 weeks or 1 month instead of every other day. So make sure that you personalize the campaigns to you and how you should need them. Now let's jump back into the marketing section and go into the Save Search Alerts. I know that we had already gone over this the last time as well, but this is a very great way for you to make it so that the people that are searching online continue searching on your website instead of on Zillow's or Realtors or Trulia. We want those people to stay focused on yours. Now, I see a question from Cindy. She's saying, for the campaigns, how do they charge for sending out messages? Do you pay per text or email sent? So that is another amazing feature by kvCore, is that it actually doesn't cost you anything for messaging. And I'd say that's part of the reason why kvCore is so expensive for the people who don't have the brokerages, is because they have to deal with the Twilio usage fees or whatever platform they use for texting and the emails, and also the IDX integration. So those things all cost money, and that's why CRMs can end up costing so much. It's interesting, but yes, you can send out as many text messages and emails that you want. And we have clients that we bring in 400, 500, 600 leads a month, and they're all being hit with a 20-day of pain campaigns. There's never one error. It's on point every single day. So awesome. Now back to the Save Search Alerts. This is a very important thing. And I know that we showed it in one of the last videos that I was on, but this is something to cover again, because you really want to drive, the whole key to this is driving that traffic. And in here, you can build out your own hashtags based off of the beds and baths. You can create your own hashtags based off of, let's say, the locations. You can do it based off of school areas. So people who are wanting to move closer to a nice school district, people that want to live on a golf course, or people that want to live near the lake or on waterfront or beachfront properties, people who want 2-car garages, people who want swimming pools. So there's all of these different things that you can create hashtags for. And all you have to do is create the hashtag one time. And when you're sitting and you're talking to somebody, you're pitching them on the phone, and they say, yeah, I really want a house with a swimming pool. Well, if that's something that's normal for your area. Like in Florida, every single freaking house has a swimming pool attached to it, right? So if you're an agent in Florida, that might be a good one to have. I know a lot of houses in California there do too. And so you can go in, create that hashtag, and then all you have to do is click to add that hashtag to that person once they're in your system. And it'll automatically send them out a list of properties with homes that have pools. So it's a way to personalize your system and constantly drive that traffic. Now, another amazing thing about the Safe Search Alerts is that you can actually track the views from people looking at your emails. So you have those Safe Search Alerts that are sent out. You can then go into that each individual contact and look. And if there's a little envelope system, or a little envelope emoticon, I should say. And if the envelope flap is open, that means that people have actually opened up the email and they've looked at the properties, and most likely they've clicked on a listing, and that's driven them to your website. So it's another way of free branding because it's showing you in the email. It's actually a really great looking email. I really like the look of it and the layouts that they've created for that. At the bottom, it shows you, it shows your photo, and it, as soon as they click on a home, it's going to drive them directly to your website. So definitely something to look at. And you can set these frequencies to daily or twice weekly, however that lead wants it. I would suggest either trying the daily or twice weekly because you do want to stay frequent, but you also don't want to flood people's inboxes.
And you can also add in things like just listed into this as well.
Yes.
Under options, you could add in just listed properties. So I would do, if I were doing them daily, I would add it in as a just listed property because especially with most of the markets across the US right now, inventory is at all-time lows. So as soon as we have a new property that comes on the market, everybody wants to jump on that, especially if they're searching for a new home. So if you can put that property right in front of them just after it hit the market when available on the MLS, you give yourself a better opportunity at getting that offer in before your competitors.
And this is actually a nice little one right here. I'm almost wondering if the short sales option is new. So this would be a really cool feature to do. You could build an ad and saying that, are you interested in short sales? Get a free list of short sales properties now. And you could then drive that traffic into your kvCore with the hashtag. That hashtag triggers and is automatically going to send them out a list of short sales for their area. So
yeah, I'm a firm believer the short sales and the foreclosures here in the near future are going to be some great ways
massive.
to have some additional business.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's just so much to explore with this platform. Now let's jump into the marketplace purchases real quick. I'll do a quick overview of that, and I want to finish it off with showing out the dashboard. So in here, first off, there is the kvCore team add-on. So if you are a large team, you might consider doing that. You can distribute the lead flow. You can set up lead routing rules, and you can set weight distribution. So if somebody's calling more than the other, you can actually go in and set that. Well, hey, you're actually calling your leads. You deserve more leads. So another one is going to be the smart number add-on. This is a very smart idea, pun intended. You definitely want to have your own dedicated phone number. Otherwise, it can round robin to other people in your office. So
this is if you are with a brokerage that provides kvCore, you are going to want to set up that smart number. And the reason is if that lead comes into another person that's in your office, and then you pay advertising dollars and you generate that same lead, they call back on one of your campaigns, that lead is automatically going to go to the first kvCore user that they were assigned to. So if you add the smart number in and they call you back on one of your campaigns, they're always going to get you on the hook. Another big thing about the team add-on This is especially for team leads that are really trying to coach, develop, and train and help grow their agents to be the best that they can be. The analytics under business analytics section is going to give you a breakdown on their calls, their follow-ups, their texts, their emails. So you can really do a deep dive and make sure that you're helping coach that agent to see success based on those key performance indicators. So really good stuff in those.
Next, we have the semi-custom templates and custom featured areas. So this is actually kind of cool. I will say that I've had a few clients that actually have utilized this feature, and they've got their own custom website built from this. So kvCore will give you their own templates that you can choose from, and it's a way to make your website look more personalized and really cool. Next is going to be the core voicemail drop. It's direct voicemails to people. It doesn't ring the phone. It just sends the voicemails. It's a little clunky, but overall, it's a great feature. I just would suggest, instead of trying to do 1,000 leads at once, maybe do 200 at a time, because it does take a lot for this to push through that large of an amount, trying to, do a voice drop to your entire database. Core Social, this is a pretty cool platform that actually gives you the ability to auto post on all of your social media platforms, and it's different for every agent in your area. They have a ton of content that's spread out evenly, so not one agent is showing the same stuff in the same area. And you can also schedule out those posts throughout the entire month, so you're not having to sit down and do it every single day. You can sit down for an hour, schedule out your entire month, and walk away, and it does it on autopilot. So is there a best platform for our websites to be built on? So this is, I believe that this is already done with WordPress, and your website is already built on this. So if you're thinking about having a website designer do something, they would just come in internally in your kvCore and edit your site in the web and IDX settings. They aren't gonna like go and do something different.
My preferred templates are actually through a company called Agent Fire. They produce straight fire. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful landing pages, beautiful websites. So Agent Fire is my favorite add-on for kvCore templates to update the look, feel, and appearance of your site.
Awesome.
Just my
Yeah. And I also see that we skipped over Tisha Johnson. She asked, how do you import leads from another source like Mojo Dialers? So there is a section where you can actually come in and upload all of your leads. So essentially you just take a CSV file. The easiest way, to be honest, is just to come in here, and you can actually message support and say, hey, could you please upload this CSV of all my old leads from my previous platform? They'll do it for you.
And the kvCore will also provide you with a template as well. And you need to make sure that the CSV file matches their template and that you have all of the pertinent information in the fields of their template when you do that upload. So it is a little cumbersome, but if you're familiar with Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets, anything along those lines, it is pretty simple to do. You just have to make sure that you use their template, use their fields, and upload everything in its respective place. So you just be copying columns and pasting columns from one spreadsheet to another to make sure that it's all in the right format.
Yeah.
Or you can have them do it for you. It takes typically 72 hours, business hours.
And one last thing in the marketplace there that I didn't show was going to be the kvCore Bomb add-on. So another amazing add-on that kvCore has done. It's video, and you can automate now everything in your campaigns. So if you're doing lead generation, or just you naturally bring in lead volume, you can now shoot the video one time with your bomb, and after you've shot it that one time, you can add it into those follow-up campaigns that I was showing in your kvCore, and you add that into day one, and now every single new lead that comes in is going to be hit with that new video sent to their phone. So pretty amazing feature, and it's as we know, video content is amazing. So,
and that could be something as simple as, hey, this is Mike Devlin. Thank you so much for filling out that form on Facebook and providing us with your information and what you're looking for in a new home. I look forward to chatting with you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reply to this text.
Yep. And as Mike was talking about earlier, here is an area where you can create those new pages, right? So you can create your own IDX squeeze page, and you can create your own landing page. And so then you could add those pages into your website where we are showing you on the web and IDX settings. So there's a few different cool features in here. Now, lastly, let's finish it off with the dashboard. I want to show you all of the features in here. We have the summary for today's calls. So in your campaigns, if you add tasks for yourself, if you add in a call task, you could just make it one call task for every new lead that comes in. You're going to be shown how many calls you need to make in that day. So today, he is supposed to call 10 different people. And if you click on that, it's actually going to show you all of the people that you are supposed to call. So pretty great feature. And going back into the activity, here we can see the property views.
We need somebody's talking.
Somebody's audio is on in the background.
All of them, they're not item number.
I'll let you take the
No, they are
the mouse.
OTC, but they don't have item number. It's special.
I can figure out who it is. I'll mute them. Sorry about that. I know you were using mine. Anyhow.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right. Here's again. Go ahead.
Okay, got it. So under the activity section, here we can select from the drop down. We can see our property views. We can see the questions that people have asked on our website, the showing requests, the home valuations. So this is a pretty great feature. You can actually see all the different people that have submitted the home valuations. So for example, with us, with our traffic ads that we drive people to that home valuation, I don't have to add a smart CRM. I don't have to do any of that. And I can just pull up this valuations and it will show me all the new leads.
You'll be able to see who this is talking.
Yeah.
Can you identify the person with the mouse that keeps talking?
It's not.
Well, we need to mute. Well, let's just finish.
Yeah, we'll just finish. So this is a great section for you to be able to come into. You can see the new leads that have come in. You can see all the new text messages specifically. So that way you can look at all the messages that have come in and realize, oh crap, I forgot to text this person back. They just texted me, they wanted to see a home, and I didn't even see it because I've got so much volume coming into my CRM. Hopefully you have that much volume.
And if you don't mind, I could share my screen really quick and show you guys what it looks like when you have those saved search alerts and everything set up and how much power that actually drives for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just share really quick.
I'm letting everybody share. It's fine.
This is something we've been working with for a really long time. We have permission to share the account. But as you can see, all of these folks, like on this top line, there's a couple repeats. But in the last hour, these guys were all searching on the site, looking at properties. This is within the last 5 hours. This is within the last 13 hours, this row. This is within the last 17 hours, the last 20 hours, the last 21. And if we load older items, it's going to take a while because I am doing the screen share on the Zoom. We've had a ton of traffic on this site within the last 24 hours. And this is ultimately the power of setting up those saved search alerts and in unison with having ads that are driving people directly to your page. So all these folks that are searching within the last day, and that's just a ton of individuals that are searching for properties. All right. Next thing that we would look at, you can separate these out by properties, by new leads, by text, by emails, and hot leads. What I would recommend is stay on top of this dashboard every single day and make sure if there's anybody that's continuously searching on here and you keep seeing it and you haven't had contact with them, try to give them a call, try to shoot them a text outside of your campaign and see if there's any kind of a conversation that you can get sparked up with those folks. Because chances are, if they're on your site every day and they're searching for properties time and time again, it's a really good chance that they are looking to make a purchase or sell their home in the near future. Because the first thing that folks do when they're looking to sell is they start looking at all the opportunities that are out there and what they can move into once they sell their property. So this is a great place to search and scrape to make sure you're up to date on your database.
And Brian, I'd also like you to point out there that show the top few people right there. So look at these different contacts. You'll notice that Maribel, right at the bottom of that screen, we can email her, we can call her, we can send her a core video, or we can send her a text, right? And then moving to Claudia, right next to her, we only have an email and the video option. So that just shows you the options right there. With Claudia, we only have her email. We don't have her phone number. With Maribel, we have full contact information, and we can, so kvCore automatically just shows you the options right here on your dashboard. Super simple, ready to rock. You can go through your dashboard, click to make those calls, or click to send those emails or text messages.
Definitely. And one of the major ways that I would leverage this too is, let's say I was out and about showing properties and I just split with my client. If I was right down the street or within the neighborhood of this and I saw one of the folks that's on my site searching for this property, I'd go and drive up to the front door just in front of that house and I'd turn this little core video on and I'd snap a video. Hey, Maribel, I saw you were looking at 8159 Roseville Boulevard in Davenport. I'm at the property right now. I just wanted to see if there were any questions that you had on this home, or if there's anything that you wanted to see. We can do it over video chat. So I think that should just about cover everything that we've got for today. I think we're going a little bit over on time, right, Mike?
Yeah, I got another appointment I need to be driving to, but excellent job, guys. If you've, we're going to do something. When would you like to do another one? Here's my question for you guys.
I'd be open to jumping on again with you next week.
Okay.
One of the things that I would love to do is show these guys how to build an IDX ad for those that are with a brokerage specifically that has kvCore, because we do give you the brokerages that have kvCore do give you the ability to use all of the listings within that brokerage to market to potential buyers or sellers. So I think that would be an awesome training to do and just teach some agents how to generate their own leads and start driving traffic just like this into their own website.
All right, that sounds great. So next week, we're going to talk about how to use the website to drive leads. Is that good enough? All right.
Absolutely.
Yep,
Excellent.
absolutely.
Tell everybody I pasted in. If you want to talk to Brian or William more about what's going on, I've given you some of their information. You can set up an appointment. They actually have programs that would help you do some of these things. They could do it for you. I've also included my information if you're interested in talking about how do you get kvCore, or if you're interested in talking to me about the team I have and how to get support, let me know. All right.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you, Michael, for having us on today.
All right. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Great job again. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Sounds great.
Bye,
Thanks.
everyone.